For people who have been watching my videos for a while and watching my channel, what I'm about to say isn't probably not going to surprise you. I grew up a Sega kid. That's why I like Sonic the Hedgehog as a franchise. Why stuff like Jet Set Radio really gets me going. There are a lot of Sega franchises that I still, go back to and play every now and again, whether it be Golden Axe, whether it be Comics Zone, whether it be things like Columns, the old sort of, Sega Genesis titles, Mega Drive, which is what I'm more familiar in calling it, the Master System. There are a lot of franchises, hell, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi. So all of that being said, it probably won't surprise you to know that I also really like House of the Dead. And in fact, I've played the ever-living daylights out of House of the Dead 1, House of the Dead 2, House of the Dead 3, and House of the Dead 4. I did actually try typing up the Dead. I think that was a really fun time. And I mean, as a typing tutor, it does its job. But it's also an incredibly fun game as well. I haven't played House of the Dead Overkill yet, so I'll probably get that on PS3 and give it a shot, because I feel like that's definitely a hole in my personal sort of play, games that I've played in the House of the Dead franchise. But yeah, so basically I actually did miss House of the Dead 1 originally, and I actually played the hell out of the House of the Dead 1 remake that actually launched not all that long ago. And so for us to get a House of the Dead 2 remake, my god, I am so looking forward to both this and the idea that we could be getting a House of the Dead 3 remake, because my personal favorite is House of the Dead 3. It had a very interesting style of game, but hey, it is what it is. So, House of the Dead 2 remake has now been officially announced, is coming out on the 7th of August for Switch and PC. Unfortunately, it's coming later to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, and Xbox One. So when I buy this game, it is absolutely going to be on PS5 without a shadow of a doubt. And I mean, man, just seeing the weapon, the bullets, and everything else in between, it's going to be a fun time. So basically, it's going to be releasing on Switch and PC via Steam and GOG on August 7th for $25 and 25 euros, followed by a PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One release at a later date, published by Forever Entertainment and developer Megapixel announced. So basically, for those of you guys that don't know, and oh my god, I still can't believe there are going to be so many people who don't know what House of the Dead is, but I'm going to have to explain it. Basically, it's a light gun rail shooter. Basically, you do not control the movement. Instead, you control a sort of rectangle or whatever you want to call it on the middle of the screen, and then you just kind of shoot using the buttons on your controller. It's an incredibly fun time, and basically it's a very score-related, a very score-driven game. Basically, you want to shoot the zombies in their weak spots as soon as they appear. So you need really twitchy reflexes, or you need to have played the game enough to get to the point where you're used to the zombie's going to appear here, then here, then here. So basically getting so used to the path that's being taken, the choices that are being made on which path to take, how many zombies you can get, and of course the more zombies there are and the faster you can hit them, the more points you'll ultimately get, and then hopefully a high score in the end. And these games are actually fairly short, because if you play through say a House of the Dead game, you would expect it to take maybe a couple of hours to play through the whole thing, and you might think, playing through the game once and only 2 hours? But the thing is that's the thing, it's an arcade game. It's meant to actually be played over and over again. Part of it is the constant improvement of score, the ratings that you get throughout, and of course the rating that you get at the end. But in addition to all of that, you get choices in some of the House of the Dead games to take different paths, see different story beats, and be able to experience all of the different ways in which the story can end. So there are multiple endings, there are multiple playthrough opportunities, and then you also unlock cheats in House of the Dead games, where the more successful you are, you'll unlock cheats, and then you can use those cheats to then spam your way through even further. And sometimes those cheats are not even gameplay related. Sometimes those in-game built-in cheats that you do not need to pay money for, compared to other games that are released on the market currently, could just be like visual stylistic changes, like, you know, making the zombies, you know, like inverted color, for example, where everything on the screen is completely inverted colors instead, making everything look like an absolute mess of a fever dream. Like, there are some really, really cool stuff. But yeah, so just to kind of give a base rundown of the story. So in February 2000, a small city was suddenly overrun by hostile creatures. Two AMS agents, James Taylor and Gary Stewart, were sent to investigate. Upon arrival, they noticed that the situation resembled the Kyrian Mansion incident from 1998, which is actually a reference to basically the first House of the Dead game. Determined to uncover the source of the infestation, they began shooting their way through hordes of creatures. And the Kyrian Mansion incident references do continue on into House of the Dead 3, which does involve individuals that are part of the family that, you know, anyway, I'm not going to go into story details. I'm going to leave it at that. So key features are going to be remastered music. Of course, classic soundtrack is available. The music in these games are incredible. Would I say that they're some of the best? Not necessarily, but they're damn good at what they do, so I'll give them a pass for that. Modern graphics. Hopefully it might be toggleable between two, like classic and modern, but hey, you know what? As long as it doesn't look ugly, I think it'll be fine. And it looked fine from the image that I could see. Gameplay faithful to the original game. It bloody well better be. Co-op mode. Co-op mode is always going to be huge in House of the Dead games. You and a friend sitting on the same couch just blasting away at zombies trying to get the highest score between each other. Absolute magic. Absolute bloody magic. Multiple endings and branching levels, which is exactly what I was talking about before. In some House of the Dead games. Oh, actually, no. Is it in all of the House of the Dead games? Actually, I can't remember. Ooh, damn. It's been a while. Wow. But yeah, so you get the classic campaign, you get the boss mode, and a training mode. So a bit of a practice mode. That's interesting. But yeah. So rail shooters, not the most interesting thing in the world, but it is damn exciting to see some of the best rail shooters of the past actually come back and, you know, really be able to do an absolute number. At least be successful enough to warrant the sequel to get a remake. I'm so happy that House of the Dead 1 remake did so well that House of the Dead 2 remake is officially a thing. So I really, really do hope that this House of the Dead 2 remake does well enough to where House of the Dead 3 remake, House of the Dead 4 remake could potentially come out at some point in the not too distant future. Is it possible that we could get a re-release of House of the Dead Overkill? Who knows? Who knows? But with all of that being said, I'm very excited. Very, very excited to see this game release. So yeah, with all that being said, however, let me know in the comments below. Have you guys actually played the House of the Dead games previously? Have you played other rail shooters? What are those other rail shooters that you've played? Would you actually even consider playing House of the Dead Remake? Or House of the Dead 2 Remake? Or just dig up an old PS3 and buy the digital versions of House of the Dead 3 and 4. Why the hell not? And Overkill. Try typing of the Dead maybe. You know, anyway. I feel like there's a lot of questions that I could ask. So just let me know about anything that I've kind of mentioned in the video in the comments below. But with all of that being said, however, I am aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year. Like the video if you liked it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yep, that's the order in which I say things. Yep.